The first one, plumbing problems, right? Gosh, there's no water or hardly any water in the kitchen, even though I turned the knob to full. What does that mean? If there's no water coming in the kitchen, what could be the problem?
Line is off, mains are off.
Right, so how many mains are there?
The base and the ToneMatch master.
No, forget this, in the house.
You're asking the wrong person. One on the street.
One on the street where they come and read the meter, right?
Yeah.
So there's one inside the house.
And one inside the house.
Yeah.
So what happens is the signal that comes inside, you see the very first control is called a trim. And that trim control, sometimes it's so low, hello, you can hardly hear, and then everybody keeps turning this volume or that volume really high and wonder why the sound is so low. I'm almost on full volume. But see, the trim is so low that there's not enough signal. So they have a light there actually. You see the green light blinking?
Yeah.
So first, reduce this. Keep it at 12, keep this at 12. And everything, if you go just to the 12 o'clock, which is actually the next one, it's the Cinderella effect. If everything is at 12 o'clock, that actually opens up everything to a very normal level. So this here is the key, the trim control is the key. When you change microphones, and you don't have to keep this, I can mute it and still adjust that light. See this? Check, it changes to yellow. If it's too loud, check, that's red. That's an overload. That's almost like the fire hydrant gushing out, right? So you have to adjust this first. And for this mic that I have, it comes to about a 1 o'clock position. And usually it's between 12 and 1, right? Yeah. This is your first thing you look at. People will... Sure, beta 58. So, check. So this is what people will turn at parties or any time, and then everybody is off, like something is wrong, my music is not matching with the volume. So the same thing happens with the music also. There's a trim control for the music. So if you're playing your iPad or your iPhone, you want to give it, let's say you keep it on this, and you keep this on 12 o'clock, and everything is on 12 o'clock, and still there's not enough sound. Guess what that is?
iPad volume.
Correct. From your phone, it's probably half or 30%, and people don't go there first. They start to increase this. When you start to amplify this, it's where all the where all the noise and distortion and off balance goes. So always just make sure that everything is at 12 at least, except the master can be less. Okay, let's say people are sleeping or it's a very small apartment or something. This can change from 11 o'clock to yesterday's party probably was 2 o'clock, right?
No. It was noon. It was 12.
12, okay. So that's actually going to the next one, which is I call the Cinderella effect.
So Mahesh, I think before jumping in, can we first tell what each button is for? Maybe take a step back.
Yes. Okay.
I think we are directly jumping into the problems.
So actually, that's why I said when the sound comes in, the first button to really know is the trim.
Okay.
Right? So
that's
that is your main gate that's allowing the sound to come in. If you squeeze it too much, there's nothing you can do for the rest of it. Okay? It's you have to allow the right amount to come in from here, which is why it has a green light. So the minute your light, not only green, it should be green going to yellow when you're loud. Because green can be even on the lowest level, and then you won't have enough. It'll still show green. Check. No, here. Check. Yeah. So just before it starts to flash yellow, check. This is good. So this is what.
That's the optimum setting.
And that's per mic, right? So if the mic is...
This is for
Good point.
Because I know you always change it when some other singer comes and she's a little faint,
No.
she's too strong. Then a lot of times you've adjusted the trim because...
Not a lot of times, very few. I only adjust for him and VG. His is right. His is where mine is, and Sunny. Sunny, I adjust a little higher. So Sunny projects a little less. His is softer tone. His is harsher tone. He doesn't even need an amplifier. He can sing without a sound system, and he'll be louder than the whole thing, right?
So Mahesh, let me ask you a question. You've heard pretty much all of us, right?
Yeah.
So based on what you've heard, where do you think the trim should be?
Right there.
With the exception of maybe between 12 and 1
Right.
for most of us.
Your house, with you singing, I would put it at 12. But you just have to remember that if VG goes after you,
Right.
she's right here,
Yeah,
which is also
yeah.
completely a whole different problem. We'll come to that.
Yeah.
But and plus it gives you a little leeway.
So even if we have two microphones, 12 and 1 would be an average setting.
Yeah,
for the
but
trim.
honestly, we don't mess with the trim.
That's what I'm saying. If you keep it that way, then no one messes.
Yeah, you don't.
So
Yeah.
the idea is
That
some mics are not as loud. They are
Yes.
very
Right.
rigid, or sound
Right,
wise they are
right,
not
right,
as
exactly.
warm.
It depends
So
on the
for
microphone.
them you have to increase the trim.
So would you adjust the trim or the mic volume?
The trim.
No.
Yeah, so what's the
Trim.
difference between trim and volume?
Yeah. So
When would
Trim
you
is that
adjust?
main water line outside the house.
Main
The
how
gain,
much
the
pressure
gain.
Initial
you
pressure.
want?
Kapila has a question.
This water line, I think we are not there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you another example. Okay,
एक और
one more example.
एक और example देता हूँ.
I'll give you another example. Okay,
Just
listen
the
guys.
difference
Hey.
between when we should touch the trim and when we should touch the mic.
Okay, one more example. Let's say you water your plant outside, right? So you got the hose with a little sprayer. So if it's a small pot and you put so much pressure, the water comes out, the mud just flings out, correct? So you slowly squeeze it till you get the right amount.
Okay.
So that's exactly what a trim does. So it is matched to a microphone. If you like most everybody has either the Shure Beta 58 or the Sennheiser. Sennheiser, you need to actually go a little more than 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So everybody knows when I say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it's like a clock, right? So Sennheiser, I would go maybe 1:30 or sometimes even 2 depending on the singer.
I tried, exactly, you're
Yeah,
right
I
on.
do that.
I tried Sennheiser and I have to move it a little past 1.
Past one. So see, that's what he said. The sensitivity of the mic is different. It doesn't
But I guess
mean-
what Namrata was asking Mahesh is, let's say we are okay with the trim. At what point do we mess around with the volume, the master volume and the separate volume each of the channels?
Correct. So that's what happens next. Once you set one at a time, right? You set once you set the mic. This is also called what is it called? Gain before feedback.
Gain,
right?
yeah.
Gain before feedback.
Yeah.
So what happens is, let's say you decide that you're going to talk like this, and then you say, okay, the green light is not coming on. See, a lot of times at events, somebody will just take the mic and they'll stand like this, and then they'll say, can't hear. And the guy at the mixer cannot go too high, because if he goes any higher, this is what happens. Okay? You can't. So that just means that you have to move it closer. So, and the thing is, if you see Pankaj singing, it'll be the straight, literally a finger's distance, except when you hit a high note, you go little bit, not too much, otherwise it becomes patla. So that presence is there when you're talking this way. Yeah. So setting has to be done when you're literally, it's called kiss the mic technique. You literally have to be on the mic. Check 1, 2. So you set one mic this way. Usually if you have 2 of the same brand, you just mimic the thing on the second one. Now, going to the music.
So
This-
Manish, is that a good guideline that you try the trim? It should maybe go a little yellow, stay mostly green,
Yes.
never go red.
Never go there.
Right.
Never.
So
But
you
not
can-
only green either. You're right. Just occasionally,
Touching yellow.
yeah.
Touching yellow.
That's when you sing a high note and then it should touch. It should just flicker yellow.
Because
But-
red will always distort.
Yeah,
Red
exactly.
distort.
Clipping really.
Yeah, exactly. But Mahesh, I don't want to go too far. Some of that, the touching yellow and the red and all that stuff also happens when you mess around with the delay reverb and all that stuff. I saw it in my lexicon, may not be on the Bose,
No.
but in the...
Yeah. You're mixing it up. The red is on your lexicon.
Yeah.
That's, see again, same thing. You're sending a signal to the lexicon, which is a reverb unit, which is separate. So he's just talking about his.
The old one. But you know, you all used to say, put my echo from
We have to talk about that.
Play around with
Echo
that
too much.
which is not as intelligent as this one is.
This is all built in.
Yeah.
So no, you would, this
So I
is
used to mess around with that. So when I saw something between the borderline of green and yellow, I used to just keep it that way. But then someone else would come, I had to
and
mess.
then turn, yeah, right.
So,
So-
is the trim same as the gain in some of the
Yeah.
other
Yes,
mixers?
Gain and
yes,
trim
yes,
is the
yes.
So
same.
think about it like this, the upper buttons are the path in, the lower buttons are the path out. So if you get too loud, the signal coming in becomes too high, and that's where it starts
Exactly.
to distort.
Garbage in, garbage out.
So you
Right.
want to control it at the right level coming in, then going out you can, the lower buttons basically then are allowing you to adjust relative to each other.
Exactly.
Like between two people, if one is louder, one is lower, or relative between music and the singers. So that's what the lower button
Right.
is.
Yeah.
The overall volume is the master. So everybody
And
up,
the-
everybody down.
And the red, is it bad for the speakers if it becomes
Yeah,
red?
it's overloading. It's overloading. So.
I know the sound distorts, but it's bad for the speaker also.
Well, the thing with the Bose is it has a circuit in there that doesn't it prevents damage. But generally, if you had another mixer, because each one is a separate unit, this thing talks, this will all sync together. So it knows that, okay, there's too much coming in and it'll distort, but you'll find it fluctuating the voice. The sound will be, it was loudness and went down because it's trying to figure out what you're doing. So, but you should visually, like I said, if you're at 3 o'clock, if you're past 2 o'clock, something is wrong. That means you either have a bad microphone, and by